Hello and welcome into the SorareData Game Week 432 preview. I'm Andrew Laird. You can find me as Lairdinho on Sorare, joined once again by Quinny, who you can find as Quinny on Sorare.
Hey.
Quinny, I'm in France.
Yeah. I actually see now that we're on. It sounds much different. It's very clear that you're in France. Don't know what it is, but I can hear it.
The French
In a good way.
high speed internet's coming in a little faster to Scotland than. Thank you to everybody for joining us. SR Monkey was first in, Milk Rain second. Johanneton said, I wanted to write here before SR Monkey, but I was too slow. It's tough. You got to really be on the ball here to beat SR Monkey. Dennis in first time. Dennis, what's up? Kev, Charlie, Rascal Misaki, everyone is here. Appreciate you guys joining in. Quinny, I looked ahead to some of these matches this week, and I wanted to kind of gauge how you attack these game weeks where we have teams that have effectively nothing to play for, some that have lots to play for, but against teams that have nothing to play for. I almost want to tell everyone, do what you can and don't get upset. But it's so rare. So, of course, people will get upset. But we have the last round of group stage matches for Champions League, Europa Conference. We've got Liga MX playoffs. We have English Championship. So there's a lot out there, but there are going to be big players who end up not playing because it's the last round, and we don't you just don't know who's going to play until the lineups are announced. So how do you usually take it or attack these kind of slates?
I think the first thing you have to get to grips with is that this is prime DNP roulette on all scales. You know, there's very few fixtures that have, whenever we do these midweek shows, it's always about the kind of, especially as the group stages went on, the value of the fixture. You know, who cares? Who's trying? What was their game at the weekend? Who are they playing this weekend? And now, that's just really slim pickings. They're quite easy to spot out now. But if you don't have them, you don't have them. You just need to, first of all, accept I'm probably going to get something totally unforeseen happen and live with it now. That will happen to you, probably.
I kind of wanted to use the match odds and be like, okay, so you can tell this team is not going to really try as hard. But even some of the, the backups on some of the big clubs against, lower clubs that have nothing to play for, they're still gigantic favorites. So it's not even those types of things give it away. I did see some tweets today that sounds like Arsenal are not going to bring anyone for their match, which we'll get into why that matters. But let me pull up the Game Week Center here. Fenerbahce, which they do care. Strangely enough, it's we're oh yeah, there's Champions League in Europa. That's a Conference League match, and they are currently sitting third. If you can see the tabs up there, I have them up. We can go through those as well. But it's basically Fener, Roma, Genk, Lille, and Olympiacos who are unminted, and then so Man City, which Man City may even just give us the benefit that they're so shallow in terms of squad depth right now that maybe we know who plays, or we get the news that none of them play, and all of a sudden it's a bunch of 14-year-old kids from the academy. But I just think, like you said, get ready to take some DMPs from some teams. And even the ones that I feel we know are going to rotate, they usually you don't get 11 rotated players. So you still have some chance.
Yeah. But again, I think it's all about the importance of the fixture. So with City, for example, I wouldn't be surprised if something absolutely crazy like Carson has played this game or something like that. Phillips maybe gets the start finally of the season.
No way. No chance.
Probably not, but you never know, man. And with some of these teams that are trying, some of them, in my experience of watching European football, on their last gambit, last game, they've got to do something and all the rest of it. Sometimes they really do throw the kitchen sink at it, and they'll clearly change their team up, maybe add an extra guy in from the start that's normally a guy from the bench, or, some teams will get creative when they're desperate, basically, so sometimes it's not necessarily that weakened team or the one that doesn't care, the one that's unmotivated, but sometimes it's the one that's hyper motivated, where it's right, we'll start these two guys. So a defender that you didn't think in a month of Sundays would be dropped is now on the bench because they went with two strikers up front rather than one or something,
I feel like if they came out with a rule in any competition here where you can only start players named Calvin Phillips still wouldn't get a start for Man City. Anyway, let's jump in to everyone's favorite second division Europe. We have English Championship. Leicester home against Millwall, the biggest favorite, and pretty comfortably the biggest, ahead of West Brom, Middlesbrough, Cardiff, and Norwich. There was some Leicester rotation this past game week. I only know that because my Ricardo Pereira card was unused because he was suspended. But it seems like if you're going to be confident in teams that may not rotate, it's going to be the championship sides that are already used to playing every midweek anyway.
Yeah, that's kind of built into their pattern for the season. So yeah, it's maybe a wee bit more of a known element sometimes. But like you say with that Ricardo Pereira, sometimes it just does come out the blue when you do catch it. Because guys that are given very little relief in these contexts, they will just get like a spot game maybe where they just vanish, and it's just like week off for you, pal, and then it's like no rest until the end of the season again. Mm-hmm. And those ones are the sore ones because they will just come out the blue, and it's just like one time hit, and you're like, oh damn it! Like
it's like you know it's happening at some point, but as long as it doesn't happen, you're just like on the edge, and then like the next game you're just going through it again, like, oh, is this going to happen? But I do wonder if, given all of the kind of uncertainties with at least a lot of the European competitions, that we see like a Leicester, maybe not a full stack, but you know, you get your Dewsbury Hall and hopefully Pereira there, like maybe mini stacks that are at the top of All-Star or something, because it's like you got all your players right at least.
Yeah, for sure. And I think with the fact that they have been rotating in their form, like they're up at the top end of the league, it's good, but it's not been like all conquering. So we have a wee peek at some L15s and stuff. No, they're actually all quite expensive for the most part. Patson Daka projected to start this L15 of 25.
Sorry, yeah.
That's not too shabby. So yeah, like for how cheap he is, yeah, like a stack becomes quite viable in a cap competition. When you get something like that holding the fort, then the goalkeeper will be a wild card, or you know, as it is anyway, because there's not a lesser goalkeeper carded. So yeah, that could be a really sneaky, like cheeky one that could come in.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. I don't have a full stack anyway, so I can't play around, but we'll see. Asia, we've got some Champions League. Ooh. Strangely enough, here we only have 5 teams showing. Looks like Bangkok United didn't get the line, but I'm not sure many people are stacking Bangkok.
How many cards do you think are in All-Star, are in Champion Asia Rare?
Well, given what we've seen previously, I would guess like 3,000. But no, it's what, two minted teams. I mean, it should be like 12. Maybe.
In Champion Asia Rare, it's 49, and also in Champion Rare Plus, it's 10.
Why? Why? Are there? Let's see. So no stars in Rare, but there's a star.
Tier 4, Tier 5 party.
Jeez. Are these all goalies? How is Kikuchi a star? Is he back?
Ooh. I was thinking, by the way, see all this show Sasaki love that goes around. It was giving me Kikuchi vibes. And I was thinking, I wonder where that guy is. Everyone's been going mad. Oh, end of season, Sasaki, go. Oh, I can't see you next season, go. And, you know, it's like, but, you know, it wasn't so long ago that was a guy called Kikuchi, and he's just like vanished. So I was thinking, with all the off-season dips, is the play get Kikuchi and Sasaki on the dip?
Ooh. Yeah, he's been hurt for basically the whole season, right?
Yeah.
351 is when he got hurt. Yeah, for those of you who are fairly new to the platform, Kikuchi was the GOAT. God, that's so many hundreds for a defender.
That's a wild one.
What's that? 194.
Some of the scores as well were like incredible. He had a lot of scores over 100, I think, out of those ones as well. You know, so
this is 125 right here. against Yokohama. That's a decent score. So, yeah, Tuggy's a show guy. Oh, Mike said there's a rumor of Kikuchi going to a J2 side as well for now. Why would he do that?
Why would he do that? We need to get Sorare Japan to talk to him. I think Sorare Japan's in with Kikuchi, so we'll get that sorted.
Yeah, won't be very he is very very familiar. It is like clearly Kikuchi's addition to the prize pool was that after they announced that they would be putting DNP players in, but putting him in the star tier seems aggressive.
Aggressive. It's definitely the word. Take that.
I guess. Yeah. You want DNPs? We'll give you a DNP. No, in fairness, a $14 limited is probably a star in Asia these days.
Fair.
Anyway. So yeah, John Buck. I think that's the one Nepenthes has the limited stack of, and Yokohama are Incheon as well has some cards. Oh, okay, so it's 3. I apologize. 3 licensed teams. So yeah, 49 cards in rare. I guess we'll see. Hoodwink said if you check the Asia rewards for last week, you'll see how bad they were. Podium's getting like $20 rare cards. Not that.
It's more unbelievable because the more the benefit isn't the guys that are going to win the division, but it's more like you could just drop a 4-man team in this probably and pick out a tier 3, tier 4. Like that's more the wild opportunity part of it for me. If you've not got much, right. If you've got a bit of a weak team or you've only got one of those 3 clubs, it's just heyday time, But yeah, not much. Oh, cool.
This is a midweek. Yeah, midweek Asia end of season.
Goalkeeper fest.
Sheesh. I didn't even notice that. You're right. 6 of the top 7. Oof. All right. Well, if you have Asia cards, good luck with your Asia competitions this week. America, we have, Tigres hosting Club America in the first leg of the final. And then Median and Junior, that's probably how you pronounce it.
Yeah.
Play each other. What did we say this was? Colombia.
How many cards do you think are in Champion America Rare?
Well, America is not even licensed. So 12?
9.
9?
And Rare Plus 1.
1. It's always funny to see what. Like
in a rare division or something. Yeah.
And it's a tier 2. God, I hate it.
Yeah, that's a bit. At least make it a tier 1, eh?
Man, I can. Actually, I don't know if I can make a lineup for that. For the compete for 1.
There's 3 other people entered so far, so it's probably not going to be many people fighting out.
But I mean, there are a bunch of Tigres stacks out there, and America have a couple. Yeah, they have a licensed goalie. Like there are cards out there. Man, 1.
Podium has cash. So third place is $60, second place $85, no card reward. First place $120, tier 2 card reward.
Okay, that makes me feel a little bit better. I do feel like you could just throw a tier 3 for these guys in second and third.
Yeah.
Like having an entire competition opened and having 1 card reward seems not as fun. I'll put it that way. Anyway, let's get into I don't even want to. I feel like we kind of end up combining challenger.
Yeah, the regions get messy.
Yeah. So let's dive in here. Have you looked at the permutations for the Champions League in Europa and all that stuff?
I've looked at the majority of them, especially the ones that directly influence me.
Sure, well, of course.
But there will be some kind of side ones I've probably missed. But for the most part, I'm kind of across most of it, I think.
Oh, Hoodwink also mentioned that America only opened an hour ago.
Ooh.
I think I saw somebody tweet about that. You're right. So thank you, Hoodwink. Let's see here. Yeah, Nelson said I've stacked Tigres. I bet I will not get into the top 200. But like I think there are a lot of Tigres stacks out there, and I think more people are starting to look at them because obviously they're still playing now, and Liga MX starts up again like mid-January. Like they come back so much earlier than MLS and so much earlier than a lot of the European leagues that take breaks, and so I don't know. It seems low. Anyway, so do you want to just go through them quickly? Just like what
of course.
Yeah, we may as well, right? So Bayern, let's do the Champions League first. We'll see how fast we can actually do this. Bayern are through at the top, and then Copenhagen and Galatasaray play each other.
Mm-hmm.
Man United are away to are home to Bayern. Man United need a win to get through. Gala and Copenhagen, if they draw and United lose, then Copenhagen advances to the Champions League knockout round, which is just wild.
Isn't it?
But there's still a chance that United can finish second, and there's a chance that they can finish fourth.
Now, the Bayern Munich part of this is probably the exception to the rule, right? Because I think Bayern Munich, in most circumstances, the present circumstances excluded, or not excluded, but not necessarily relevant, would love to completely eliminate and humiliate Man United by making them finish bottom of the group.
Bottom,
what I mean? So they lost quite convincingly at the weekend to Frankfurt, obviously. So Tuchel and the boys are firmly on the ropes. So if Man United, who have been rotten, get a result over Bayern Munich, it will put a lot of more pressure on them all of a sudden, even though it actually means nothing on paper. These things just are facts, and people will talk about it and question the manager, question performances, etc. So this is maybe one of the few dead rubbers that actually is probably worth watching and might actually still be good for SO5.
I think that's totally fair. And I feel like if you are struggling domestically and have the opportunity to say, hey, we won 5 of 6 in the Champions League, you got to take that. So I do think that there's a good line there. I appreciate that. And Tuggy said Bayern could run the C squad and still thrash United. So we'll see. I mean, obviously card holders of all 4 of those clubs, you want at least a top 3 finish. Bayern, we know, are through anyway. So let's see. Arsenal have won
PSV.
the group.
Yeah, I think they're through
PSV. Lens and Sevilla still battling. Is it possible? I guess I forget which matchup that was. Who plays who?
PSV play Arsenal.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So, oops. Let me go back here. There we go. PSV Arsenal, right. Arsenal, I think nobody's playing. I think if Quinny and I showed up, they would be like, yep, you're in. And Lens, Sevilla are the club that make the Champions League, and you're like, they're not comfortable here. But man, do they love a Europa competition. And you got to win to get through. And so I think it's as simple as that, right?
Yeah, they have to beat Lens. And PSV need to not lose. If PSV get anything from that game, then Lens can't overtake them on some dramatic goal difference shift and all the rest of it. So PSV and Arsenal probably happy to take a 0-0 right now if you gave them both it. So that game's probably rather redundant, perhaps. But Sevilla and Lens obviously want to be not losing to Sevilla and lose any spot of anything, but they'll have a hope of, if Arsenal go ahead, then maybe something even better could happen for them. So that game will be feisty, I think.
For sure. Group C, Madrid through. They don't have to do anything. That's another one where Quinny and I might be able to play. Napoli and Braga, basically competing for second, but not really. But Braga would have to win big in order for that to happen. But Union Berlin, not out of it, at least in terms of reaching the Europa, So
never write off German teams at home in Europe, ever. Ever. So never.
Yeah.
Wouldn't touch Real Madrid if you can avoid it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I'm in on that. Certainly a rotated Madrid too. So Group D, Sociedad and Inter are through. Salzburg on 4 points. Benfica 1. So still a chance for Benfica, but uphill climb.
This group's first v second to decide who wins the group, and then it's Salzburg, Benfica. So yeah, it's Benfica need a big one if they're going to do it. They beat Salzburg in the first game. I think head-to-head's a factor perhaps in this also. I'm not too sure on the merit or the order of tiebreaker, if it's goals scored head-to-head or how it works. But goals scored there, you can see Benfica are ahead, I think, 4. Yeah. And then I think the first game they won. So I'm not too sure exactly how the head-to-head shakes out, but Benfica will be right up for this game, to try and get into third. And it's all to play for them.
Yeah, for sure. So, do you think Sociedad and Inter care about who finishes first and second?
I think Sociedad do, but they're away from home. Yeah, and so it's one of those ones because it's Sociedad's first Champions League group maybe ever, if not for a long ass time. So they're enjoying qualifying, but if they could win the group, it would be the guys would be local heroes kind of style.
Yeah. The Mike Bassman with this great point that there are a lot of strong cards that leave midweek if Benfica finish last. We're used to seeing Benfica kind of midweek for a while, and if they don't even make Europa, then I don't have any Benfica cards, I don't think, so I'd be happy to see them gone. Sorry, everyone who has their cards. Group E, Atletico Madrid are through, Lazio through, Feyenoord are third, and Celtic are looking to the domestic league.
Yep.
Group F, all right. Dortmund, PSG, Newcastle, Milan. This is the group of death. Everyone's still alive, at least for European competition, Europa. And Dortmund, or at least they know they have advanced to the knockout round, but everyone else, I guess not everyone. PSG are definitely through, right?
No.
PSG at Dortmund.
Yeah. Dortmund are going to beat PSG and Newcastle are going to beat Milan. And this will finish Dortmund, Newcastle, PSG, Milan in that order. That's the way this will shake out, I think.
Wow.
I don't see PSG going to Dortmund and getting a result. Dortmund are really good at home, and I know Dortmund aren't perfect, and I know PSG have been good, etc. But I don't know. I just can't see them getting a result in that game. I don't know why. It's just when I look at the game, when I looked at the group when it was drawn, I just thought Dortmund were going to win this group. I thought they were going to win all their games at home, and I'm not really moving away from that. So, and I also thought, Newcastle have done a little bit better. I think they picked up a point somewhere I didn't see them getting, but I thought they would have finished on 7 and finishing third. But if they win against Milan, which I think they will, they'll finish 8th on 8 points, and they'll do the job. So I think Milan have been terrible this year, and Newcastle, a couple of rocky results, recently, but the Champions League's been good to them, and at home to AC Milan, I think they'll have a good game. So this will be 2 good games to watch.
Seeing Mbappe in the Europa League feels just so wrong.
Would be so good, but be so good. Be so good. Poetic justice on a lot of levels.
I don't know if it's poetic justice much if Newcastle is one of the teams that's getting ahead of them, but I don't know. We'll see. Yeah. So you don't think there's any
takes a poetry out of it.
Right, yeah. You don't think there's any way that Dortmund rotate because they're definitely through. They're just not necessarily top, right?
They're at home in the Champions League. They're not going to play a second string team. I just don't see it happening at all. It's just
that's fair.
These types of clubs. It's just not. They might rotate a guy, but they're not going to let PSG turn up and smack them.
Yeah. That's okay. I get that. Group G: Man City at 15, Leipzig 9, Young Boys 4, and is that Red Star?
Yeah.
At 1. So obviously Leipzig and Man City are through. Young Boys. What's the matchup in this week?
City are playing Red Star away. So that's why I said Trevor Carson will be flying over.
That's
Calvin Phillips will be flying over. It'll just be does Pep need to go on this one?
So, I mean, in fairness, Young Boys should need a point. I mean, a point obviously ensures that they finish third. Red Star winning big, even at home against a rotated Man City, seems unlikely, but that's what they need to do in order to qualify for Europa. But that's a tall order.
On the website I'm looking at, it shows that Young Boys are done in third. Like, so whatever the head-to-head, the decider thing is, like, even if they did get on at 4 points, I don't think it must be head-to-head or something. I don't know.
I still thought it was straight. It was goal differential first.
I don't know. I say I'm on flash scores, and like when you look there, it gives you a wee indicator. And I've just got Young Boys on as being through. That's all. I mean, it might be wrong, but it's normally decent.
Yeah. And then Group H, Barcelona 12, Porto, Shakhtar 9, and Antwerp. Thank you for coming.
I keep saying Trevor Carson. Scott Carson.
Any relation?
I have no idea. I forget who they both are.
Yeah. So Barcelona are through. Porto and Shakhtar are through, at least to continued competition, but they're obviously competing for the second spot. And they play each other. Is that so we know two teams that are actually trying really hard.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like that's the cup final match we've got here, isn't it? So normally two teams that can be quite, I was going to say boring, but they've both had actually quite good Champions League campaigns with some memorable results actually, but normally their style of play isn't too flattering. But so both, it should be a fireworks game. There'll probably be a couple of goals in the first half, maybe a dodgy penalty or two or something, and it'll go all the way to the 105th minute and something will happen, one of those ones.
And maybe something else in the 108th, and then all of a sudden we go to penalties and good stuff. Europa, let's go. I was already looking so you can see. West Ham and Freiburg through, Olympiacos and Baka Topola not. So Olympiacos, these guys go down too. I forget. Man, just more football. League. That's right. So I don't even know what the matchup is there. Do you have that one?
I'll get the matchups open as well.
Let's see. West Ham, Freiburg. So it's the top two.
I'll keep matchups open if you keep the tables.
Perfect. All right. So those guys are competing for to win the group.
Yeah.
My God, Freiburg, 17 goals scored.
That'll be both the games against Baka.
17? $5-0 against Olympiacos, 5-0 against Baka, 3-1, 2-1, 3. My gosh. Okay, I see you.
And scoring goals.
So how do they treat this one?
Olympiacos are playing the bottom of the table, so that's not going to probably change, in terms of who finishes third. And then I say Freiburg and West Ham. I don't think neither of them will care that much. West Ham being at home, they're probably going to be a bit more motivated to just finish the group stage with a bit of a hurrah. But I don't think there's much motivation for either in this game, really.
West Ham rotate a decent amount for Europa anyway. So I guess you could probably say the regular Europa players will probably play because this is when they play.
Totally.
Okay. Group B, Marseille 11, Brighton 10. These are points. AEK 4, Ajax 2.
Ajax at home to Athens in the final game, and Marseille away to Brighton. So the Marseille-Brighton game, I think Brighton would be motivated to finish top of the group, especially being at home, final game and all that kind of stuff. And Marseille's season's been a bit rocky, but also in Europe they've been doing well. So, that game will probably be quite lively, even though it's, I don't think there'll be blood and guts in it or anything, but I think they'll be trying. But Athens, Ajax last game should be, Ajax need to win. They're at home, and the expectation will be on them to do it convincingly.
They've been much better of late as well. So at least much better than the winless Europa so far. So surely where are they on our list here? Only 48% to win.
A draw is good enough for Athens, obviously. So
that's true. Yeah, they could play it ugly if they want.
Mm-hmm.
A Greek team playing ugly? No way. Anyway, Group C, Betis 9, Rangers 8, Sparta Prague 7, and what is that last one? Aris Limassol?
Yeah,
where are they out
from
of?
Cyprus.
Oh, okay.
So their team's full of like joiners and teachers and stuff like that. And I'm only joking. But Rangers are playing Real Betis in Spain. Betis, obviously, technically not like, they are through, right? But, they're still, they could go against them, really. If Sparta Prague, who are playing Limassol, finish on 10 points, and if Rangers somehow beat them, then Betis could find themselves in third. It's not beyond the realm of possibility. So, Betis, we need... Oh, when you go.
We need, sorry for cutting you off there. He said the top of the group avoids the round of 32, so they do want to. So there is a benefit to finishing first.
Interesting detail. Good to know. That's a new one.
Thank you, guys. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so Group D, Atalanta and Sporting are through. Sturm Graz and Krakow. Is that who that is?
Yeah, Rakow.
No. Yeah.
Rakow are at home to Atalanta. So good luck to them. And Sporting Lisbon will be playing that team, but who's at home? Sporting are at home to Sturm Graz. So tough one for Graz.
Well, I've seen a bunch that Sporting are going to rotate because they can't really, I don't think that they can get ahead of Atalanta. So
it's absolute dead rubber.
Yeah. So it's what we were saying of the only care about the cards that we have. With my Sporting cards, it was like, I actually might not even have them.
Yeah. Sporting do seem like nothing. Like this game could mean less to them. Really, it actually does nothing in any shape. So yeah, maybe Graz get lucky.
Perfect here from Recomon. Sporting have Porto next weekend also. So
there you go. Way more important to them.
Yeah, for sure. Group E, Liverpool through at the top. Toulouse and USG. Are they still fighting for second? I guess so. And then Lask. I guess Lask still have a shot to get to 6 points ahead of USG's 5.
Yeah. Union or USG, they're at home to Liverpool for the final game, and Lask are at home to Toulouse in the final game. So even though Liverpool are home and hosed, I don't think any of these games will be a foregone conclusion.
From my extensive in-person viewing of Toulouse, they're dreadful. So
Lask might be at it.
Let's see. Charlie said Van Hoot is suspended for USG. He's 70% on to play, which is very low. So everyone go vote out. Let's go do that. Let's all go do this together. And I forget there we go. There's Charles. Suspended. Out. There we go. Everyone go do the same.
Done.
Way to be, everyone. It'll be at 0% in no time. Okay. Group F, Rennes through. Villarreal, who they play, can still get to the top, though. And then Panathinaikos and Maccabi. Is it Haifa?
Yeah, I'd say Haifa.
Sorry, Tool House, everyone.
And Panathinaikos, are they at home, I wonder? Or are they away? Panathinaikos are at home. So, yeah, they want to get the job done there.
Yep. And draw gets them through.
Keep themselves in European football.
Yep.
But yeah, that whole top spot, getting, missing around the football. West Ham, Freiburg, that was one of the first ones. That will probably actually be a wee bit more spicy. And Rennes, Villarreal, it's a straight head-to-head for that spot. Yep. So that should be quite feisty also.
Yeah, Rennes also rotate a decent amount for Europa. So there's a somewhat reasonable lineup expectation because those guys don't always play on the weekend anyway. So I know Martin Terrier was rested this past weekend, so he'll probably start the Villarreal match and a few others. Yeah. Group G, Slavia Prague at the top. Roma, the biggest favorite of the week, I think we saw, or one of. Were they the favorite at the top?
They're at home to Sheriff.
Yeah. Who are last. Yeah. And then Roma Servette. Is that Switzerland?
Yeah.
Yeah. But they can't get to the top two anyway. So I guess this one is pretty much... I guess Roma and Slavia Prague have the top spot to compete for. And then, Group H, Leverkusen. Oops, sorry about that.
I was going to say Leverkusen at home to Molde, and Qarabag are playing Haken. And this is Leverkusen. It's been hard to pick them all midweek, hasn't it? But I think this one, that at home, if they win this, they're 6 for 6. maybe this is the one where they don't give all the B teamers minutes. Maybe they try and let's just win 6 out of 6. Maybe stranger things have happened, but yeah, it's been an absolute canter. No other real cards in that group anyway, so it's just the Leverkusen show, isn't it?
Yep. And yeah, that is that. And then let's go through quickly the Conference League, the one that we all really care about. Lille against, I don't even know what that is, Slovan Bratislava.
That's it.
Or is it a different one? Oh,
Bratislava.
There we go. Against, they're through. That one's done.
Yep.
Do you know what this is?
Key there, like an Icelandic team. I don't know what it's short for, but yeah.
Klaksvísar. Wow. I'm not.
If it's not Iceland, it'll be Faroe Islands, but it's one of them too.
Yeah, I'm not even going to try the rest of that. Anyway, Group B. So these are mostly done. I was looking at this.
Nice.
Before going back to Leverkusen, Arouge says Hoffman could start, considering he was on the bench this past weekend. Which I don't know. We'll see. Group B. Ghent and Maccabi Tel Aviv are through.
Nice.
Group C, Pilsen and Zagreb. Oh, I guess Astana could. Oh, actually, we got a couple.
Zagreb are at home to bottom of the group. Balkany here. So Zagreb should get the points they need to get themselves over the line, regardless of what happens in the Astana Pilsen game.
Yep.
Astana are away, so Pilsen are at home. So it's probably good for Zagreb, who just need to draw, I think, to get it over the line. So at home to Balkany, they should smash them, you'd think, or beat them at least.
Misaki said top spot matters here as well. So where does that tell us? So I guess these first two, they should care.
Yeah. So let's see. Lille are at home to Key, the Icelandic team. So they're probably going to squish that, to be honest with you. I don't think Bratislava can do much about it.
And then Ghent. Maccabi Tel Aviv.
They're playing each other.
Ooh, all right. In Hamburg, is that where they are?
Must be, yeah.
It was Hamburg, right, where they were playing?
That sounds familiar.
Yeah. I only say that because I feel like the first time we talked about it, there was a comment about Fiaga.
Rings a bell.
And Fiaga's a Hamburg guy. Anyway. So we did see D. Bruges I think they're done. I think
they're at home to Bodo. So as long as they don't lose, I don't think they can really go against them. The head-to-head for this is Bruges won the first game, so they're in control head-to-head terms and goals scored as well.
I was going to say, is it direct head-to-head or is it?
I think the vibe of it, that's why I wasn't sure to reference it earlier or not, but I think the vibe of it is like they're treating the group stage like 2 legs. If you're, like if you were locked on with someone, over 2 legs who won kind of thing.
Okay.
So just a direct person you're in lock with.
Johannes was saying Zoria play in Hamburg, Maccabees in Prague.
Oh, cool.
Zoria is a Ukrainian team. Okay, so, man, Besiktas.
Dead.
How about that? 1 point from 5 in that group. That's a weird year. Aston Villa, Group E, absolutely flying. Legia Warsaw. I believe they play each other.
Aston Villa are away to the bottom team, I believe. Okay. I might have that wrong.
I'm sorry. Yeah. It was AZ, I think, is away to Legia. Because I was looking, because that one, I remember Legia match really mattered.
That's Alkmaar away, you're right. I think Aston Villa have rescued the group after, I think that must have been the first game they lost. I think it was 2 Legia. Mm-hmm. They managed to rescue out there with four wins in the bounce. They're definitely going to get through. But in terms of the whole first place thing, it's just a point they need. They're away to this Zrinski team. They're in a great run of form domestically. They've rotated quite consistently for this. I think that rotation will probably remain. And I think Unai Emery is just the master of these competitions, and he won't. I don't think Aston Villa slip here at all. They'll get what they need.
Yeah. Who is this? Misaki saying definitely some Villa rotation after this past weekend, but guys like Ramsey and Duran should start.
Yeah.
with low L15s, which was always it's always a nice benefit of these rotation matches is that you'll get some guys who don't normally play as much. Group F, Fiorentina and Ferencvaros are at the top right now. Genk and Sorare down under favorite Cucurici, who actually I think that's how they decided it. That's not how you say it, but that's how I just said it, so we'll go with it. Who does Genk have in this one?
Genk are at home to Cucurici and Ferencvaros are at home to Fiorentina. So Ferencvaros obviously desperate to get a point at all, if they were to win the game, obviously, but they would finish top, and that wouldn't be good for Fiorentina. So, Fiorentina are not going to be going there to get rolled over. And Genk at home to Cucurici, they've obviously got to be trying to make up those points on Ferencvaros to try and finish in second themselves. So this group's still a wee bit topsy-turvy.
Yep, except for Cucurici.
Yeah.
They are either the topsy or the turvy, but they're not both. They're just dead on zero.
Genk versus Ferencvaros, by the way, has been dead 2 draws, 0-0 and 1-1. So I think it'll probably go on goals scored, which depending on how that game goes, Genk might want to score a few goals tonight or Thursday or whatever. So detail there, Genk want to score goals.
It's shocking to hear that Genk had a clean sheet somewhere. We found one. Group G, is this Panathinaikos? P-A-O-K?
No, you say it Pau.
Pau, huh?
Yeah. It's short for something maybe or something, but I'm sure you say it Pau.
Okay. So Pau and Eintracht Frankfurt are through. That's because I have Aberdeen cards, so they're dead. And then HJK. And that's that regardless of matchups and all that. It's, literally nothing matters in this group. Nothing can, third and fourth, I guess, could change, but
nobody cares.
Yeah. I don't think next year when we have the Europa Conference League, then they can slide down to that one. And then Group H is also very competitive. With there's another one. Seeing Fenerbahce there in third is just nuts.
Yeah, you got to think when they're playing Spartak in the last game, they get to 12 points, and it really just puts the pressure on Norderslund and Ludogorets. But they're only on 9 points to this point. They've not been impervious, but the talent they've got, they really should be turning Trnava over and getting to 12.
You would think so,
Yeah. Stranger things have happened. If they only get a draw, they're probably not going to make it, depending on how the head-to-head sit with some of these teams and whatever. So, yeah, Fenerbahce are in trouble.
Was that Besiktas they played this past weekend?
I can't remember the ins and outs of the Turkish ones. Sorry, mate.
It was, 3-1. I only remembered from Tadic, though. That's why. Okay, so that was the end of that. I think, so basically, we did all of that, and we still have really no idea what's going to happen. So let's check some pick scores. One thing I noticed, I did look ahead, Quinny. I felt like I needed to be a little more prepared this week for some reason. Actually, this one. Because 2 cards. Only 5 players. 4 players, 5 cards are AAA rated this week in All-Star.
Wow, so they are. Andre Lunev, eat your heart out.
Mm-hmm. Everyone
15 or 60, but
hold on to those cards. This is your week right here.
Oh, Jesus.
We have the double Tadic because he's got midfielder and forward cards, and then 2 guys who I think we've all heard of, João Cancelo and Jude Bellingham. But we've got Salah kind of right up there, Otamendi, a lot of the good cards that everybody likes to have. Do you think that the AA for Mbappe away to BVB is okay?
I think I think this game is. I think a lot of these games, like the attacking players, will probably be fine. For the most part, I didn't see many games there that don't suit attackers in some way, shape, or form. If you've got the right ones, it's just more about the overall result and maybe the midfielders, the defenders, the goalkeepers that are probably all quite shaky. But I think AA is fine. It is Dortmund, so they shouldn't really. PSG don't really have the right to be going there and expecting 3 goals or more.
Yeah.
So you've got to be thinking how many decisives are actually available. Maybe it's 4, maybe it's 6, and how many of them can he get? And so I think he's good for AA. But AAA is maybe reasonable not to be there.
Lucas is on the Somerville Rudder combination that continues to just smash since I sold their limited cards. It just feels like every time they score, I get somebody who's like, "Hey, he scored again." One that like kind of jumps out at me, and I think it's only because of the random tweets I saw today about a possible loan termination, but I think we're going to see a huge Romelu Lukaku week if he plays. I see all this talk that like Chelsea should bring him back, and Lukaku's like, I don't really want to go back. But seeing him up here against Sheriff,
he'll definitely ball out in this game because he gets sent off at the weekend, so he's going to have. I don't know what the suspension will be like because it was a bad tackle. Don't know if he'll get multiple matches for it. It was just a bad tackle, but so yeah, he can go all out in this game. Go get some more goals, pad those stats. He'll want 2 goals in this game to finish 6 for 6. You know, like he'll want 2 goals minimum, get a hat trick or something.
Yep. I mean, even at 15 AA in the first game away to Sheriff. So I don't know if he'll end up playing, but where did we go back to? Did they win that group?
No, they're down there. They're third or something. Scroll down. One more, I think.
Oh yeah,
there. Right. Second.
Yeah, go win that group. Yeah, off of a Romelu Lukaku hat trick. I don't know. I'm just feeling it, Quinny. Just felt it. What's U23 look like this week? I know we got Sturm Graz, so Sherpen will be there. Who else we have? Chevalier, Van de Voort, Verbruggen, probably. Oh, we got a bunch.
Yeah. Quite a few.
Keep going. Whew.
Turbiazski. Who the hell's that? Mitika Turbi. Yeah, him. Who the hell is he?
From Zoria?
Where the hell's that kit?
Lokomotiv, but not Dynamo.
So confused. Oh, is it maybe Croatian? Is that a Croatian card? Maybe.
No, I think it's Russia.
Is that a Russian card?
Lokomotiva. I thought Lokomotiva was Russian.
There we go. We under 23 keeper.
Lokomotiva Zagreb. Oh,
good guess.
Croatian.
I was where the hell this card came from? Didn't recognize the strip.
Not many of them. Oh yeah, thank you everyone. Same team as Kavlina. Oh, okay. All right.
Tobrevsky. Cool. L1532.
Yeah.
Rare 130 quid. If you're so
I was going to say, how many? There are only 3 of them.
Ooh. Oh, yeah, so really 130 quid then, is it?
No. You got to love Eugene and Seku here getting the XP up for the midweek. Probably using those in academy lineups. So yeah, plenty. So it's not going to be one of those weird like 4-card. And granted, like with Europa and Conference League and Champions League, like we're going to have enough goalkeepers here.
Yeah, plenty
of AAAs in U23.
Oh yeah,
overall. So
I think Napoli at home should be pretty high scoring to Braga. Like we've seen with that group, like Union Berlin, Braga, Napoli, like Real Madrid are the only safe one in their position totally. You know, so yeah, I could see that being pretty good for them. Real Madrid are the Champions League team, the Harlem Globetrotters of the Champions League. It feels like where they can just do no wrong. But
yeah,
I don't know. German teams at home needing it badly. I just say never write them off. So I feel sketchy about Real. Schlotterbeck looks good there as well against PSG. That's a game Schlotterbeck can ring 100 out of AA even without a clean sheet. He could just be scooping interceptions and effective long balls in the final third all day.
I love how high you are on Dortmund. All right, let's quick 220 look. Milan Borjan. So
that must be a Canada card. That can't be a real card.
Oh yeah, you're right. How about that? He just showed up in a black shirt.
That's not a real picture, is it? Surely that's just his head on an avatar or something.
Yeah, I think you're right. They've just upgraded the avatar.
Imagine that's how they turned them on. Turned them into the photo shoot. Just put this on. But I'm here for Canada. No. Forget that Canada. Put this on.
All right. So
Own your
he
game.
doesn't have any cards. Oh yeah. Own your shirt. Goram Kasia, his Slovan Bratislava teammate, has 24 rares, including one on the market for $11.44.
He plays a wee bit of
Georgian
international as well.
too. Yeah. Anyway, I had no idea this guy ever played in MLS. I think it's just big head cards. Yeah.
Nice.
Okay. But a lot of value there.
Yeah. I like that.
Wow. That Tadic at 60.
Yeah, they should be destroying them by all accounts. That should be like 5-0. Rein the decisives in. Try and rescue the kind of sentiment of the group. Trying to make everyone forget that it was dicey. Just finish with a bang and it. Like, don't worry about it. Like, it was fine. So yeah, I can see that. Even though those high points. Daniel Podence there as well. I think you were hovering over him. That looks like a good one. L1538. £2 for unlimited. Not too shabby at all.
Not at all. Alex Wilson said Ronno's the 220 play.
I used Ronno common this weekend. He was very good until he lost his clean sheet. The AA was building up for him, and I was like, oh, this could be really good. But I think they finished one each in the end. But yeah, Ronno's still not too shabby.
Not too shabby at all, yeah. I feel like he should, it's one of those that I feel like if we see like the heavily rotated Real Madrid and everyone's like, oh, I should have played. Like he feels like the I should have played guy.
Yeah.
There's Lukaku.
Yeah. He'll be good.
Maybe I'll go get myself a... Is there a Lukaku common? Probably not, actually.
No chance. Haji Wright, AAA. We're hearing from the chat. Is Haji Wright up there as AAA?
There he is.
Oh, wow. So he is.
At home against Southampton. Wow. I guess the
£7.
56. I'm not sure I'm paying that for Haji Wright, to be honest.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, and Kobe Velhurst, because Matthew Ryan is injured for a while.
Ooh.
So I guess Velhurst, which I'm assuming we've already seen his... This is going to be an absurd one. Yeah, there we go. How good do you feel when you did the buy now at $5.87 and then you're just like, bing, 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 bing.
Yeah, good. The problem with those ones, but sometimes is knowing, like, if you've did it, because sometimes you buy those guys and nothing happens. Maybe like 2 other cards move and then it goes dead, and you're like, oh, I thought there was going to be an actual reaction to this. So when you see that, it must be some buzz, like just seeing the market flying away.
Yeah. Tuggy said that AZ haven't announced who's going to play, which is probably why you see this dip. Let's go a little closer here.
Yeah. So this is the assumption crowd.
Right. Yeah. Everyone's like, let's go. Uh-oh.
Aye.
I love this game. All right. I think that's all we got for today. That was a lot to go through. And I think the only advice that we really have is just don't get frustrated when all the DNPs come in, right?
Yeah, it's probably the best week to take that punt on a 220 team where it's like, these guys don't make sense in a normal team, but I think that team is going to smash, or I see that team going this way. Try and squeeze them into a 220. You know, it's maybe one of those game weeks, and then you have fun with like, I knew he was going to score, or I had the feeling that this team would have done it or not do it. Depends on what your cards are and what your notion is. And
midweeks during like a longer form competition tend to get like, they're almost like the ones that people not ignore, but a lot of people are like, I just don't have anything. So like, if you're going to take a risk, take it in the midweek so that you can really benefit from it. Yeah. Cool. All right. Thank you everybody for joining. Quinny and I will be back on Wednesday to preview the weekend game weeks as well. And stay tuned for all the other stuff from the channel. So thank you everybody and good luck this midweek.